morning and welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and today we're going to be finishing off our 3D card, so hopefully you've all had a chance to cut your bases. And today what I'm going to do is I've printed out some of the character files that you can get from design bundles. So Ian, do you want to show quickly?
Do you want to wait till you have some people watching?
Okay. Is it taking a bit longer? Sorry. And breathe.
So say hi to Tracy and to Carol.
Hi Tracy, hi Carol. I'll just wait for a few more to join. Ah, there we go.
And Joyce.
Hi Joyce. Hi Linda. Hi Thea.
Better?
Yeah, that's better. So, do you want to very quickly show one? There you go.
Was it Finita, wasn't it? Yeah. And Deb.
Hi Deb.
Just said something, I missed that. I'll come back to that in a minute though, because I've just got to change display quickly to show. There you go. Do you want to just
Okay, so very quickly, what I did was I opened up the different files. So if you click across the top, you can see that we had lots of different ones open. So I could pick and choose between sets to get something that is going to make a little scene. So I've used Christmas treats, Christmas baking and Christmas morning. So when you're looking for those, that's what you're going to be looking for. Do you want to flip back overhead, Ian?
There you go. That's back to overhead. Deb says she can't stay for the hour. She's got to pick up the boys from the groomers. They've already got a haircut yesterday. And Corinne says morning all.
Okay, so because my moment for the laser printer it's a little bit cold, so let's see if I can get it to lie a little flatter would be good. Just a little. There we go. Just saves me fighting with it. And I've pulled out my hoo-hoo markers. So I have the pastel set and the basic colour set. And I'm going to be working with those today. So let's start with some reds. So very quickly, I'm going to show where I went wrong. When you do your file, just be aware of your printable edge. So I have a little boy missing top of his head just there. So we can use this end to test colours out on and see if we're happy with the blending. And before we move on to our finished piece. So I'm going to start off with Vermilion, which is R2. And let's just try that out. So let's see how red can we get them. So I'm going to take this all over like so. And I'm going to go to my darker colour. And I always manage to get the wrong end. So I prefer to shade with a brush. But it's up to you. If you feel like you have more control over a chisel, then go for the chisel. And I'm just going to put that darker colour wherever I think the shadow would fall. So it looks like he's got a bit of a baggy jumper, so I'll put a little shadow around the bottom too. Then we're going to go to our lighter colour again and just blend that in so we don't get a harsh line. Now I'm working on top of a little protective sheet, and this comes with the pastel markers. You also get one if you get any of the Hoo marker sketchbooks, and it's just there to protect your work surface. So it says for thinner paper, but I tend to put it there as like belt and braces anyway. So as we're happy with those colours, I'm going to do everything that is red down this end first. So I'm going to put him in his little red sweatshirt.
Whilst you're doing that,
Yep.
just to let people know for the foil shield that the first 4 have been dispatched today.
Yay.
So Deb, Linda and Joyce, your orders have been put in the post this morning, so they should be with you tomorrow. And then the next batch we are picking up hopefully on Friday. So they will hopefully be going out Friday as well. The timing of the meeting is in hope that we can get back in time to catch the postie before. So remind me Friday morning to do the postage for them.
Okay.
Because I can do that before. So the next 4, I believe, is Nikki, Thea, Carol, and Corinne. Are the next 4 to go out.
Yes. So, Corinne, I've invited you into the 4-Shield group, but Nikki, I can't get you in. So, can you drop me a message and see if we can work out how to get you into that group?
Or friend request, something like that.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to go through and do his stripes.
That's all I wanted to say.
Like so. Now, of course our little reindeer is going to have a red nose. But you don't need to concentrate on doing the shading too much on that because it's going to be such a small area. I'm also going to give him a little red saddle.
Corinne says she's joined, so cool.
Cool. And I'm going to do a little bit of shading just to give it a little bit of form. So I'm putting the darker colour to the top edge and then blending back over the top. Now, I'm also going to want to put some of the red into our banner piece here. So I think I'm going to go round the outside edge, which is very brave with this pen, I have to say. I'm going to go all the way around. Trying to keep it as light as possible so we get a nice fine line. So while I'm doing this, if you have any questions about anything that we've covered this week, then take the opportunity to ask. There is no such thing as a silly question.
Mum says morning.
Hi Mum. There we go. So I think my pudding bowl would also look quite good in red.
You're just covering as much as possible so you have to do any more later.
Huh?
Doing as much as you can in those 2 colours, you don't have to keep changing.
No, the idea is that you limit your palette, so you, instead of throwing every colour under the sun at it, you limit your palette and it's going to look a lot better for doing that. I'm just going to take that colour back around the edges. And I'm also going to go for the little present box just here. So you want to try and keep the colouring as neat as possible so that your scanning cut is going to be able to see your colours nice and neatly. Definitely a case of trying to stay in the lines.
Yeah, leave that with me, Joyce, and I'll have a look at it and see if I can get you in any other way. Just being old. I'll send you a fresh invite and see if we can do it that way. She's having trouble getting into the Designing with Vectors group.
Oh. That's odd.
I sent her a fresh link, but it won't let her in, so I'll have a look at that for you after streaming for you, Joyce.
So I'm just adding a bit to one side so that we're going to make our box look 3D. And I'm just wondering whether to do the same for that little hot chocolate mug, which I think I'm going to go for it. What? Why are you laughing? I'm not going to do it now if you're going to laugh at me. Okay, so with those two colours done, next I'm thinking we could do with like a nice grey. So we don't want to go too OTT with the grey. Want something that's kind of soft, so if we test it down this end, that looks about right. And we're just going to flick it in from the edges. And that's looking... oh, that's what I want. So I'm going to flick. And that's the joy of using the brush tip, is that we can use a flicking action to actually blend our colour. Again, just round there. We're going to do the same on our base of our wooden spoon, because in a minute when we come to put our woody colour over the top, then we've got our shading already there. And we can do the same on our mug. And if you can't quite get the angle, turn your work. And I'm going to do the same from the icing. So from the bottom flick up, do the same here. Now from a baking tray, I'm going to go all over in this lighter grey colour. Now I'm going to pick a darker shade.
It's not laughing at you, dear, it's laughing at the comment.
I'm going to come back underneath our baking tray like that, so that we have our little trays going underneath as in shadow. And we can do the same for our little side pieces in here. That's going to make our tray look more three-dimensional.
If you want to turn, have a quick read from there.
But I reinvented you and you worked. So with the ribbon, I'm going to go all the way over the top with the lighter grey, apart from a couple little places just to get some highlights in. Then I'm going to go back to my darker grey, and we can start to put some shading in. So round the knot of the bow underneath, so that we make our fluffy bits of our bow stand out. Then this way around here, and a little bit just there, and underneath there. Then we can use our lighter grey, and we're going to blend that back in. There we go. And I use my darker grey to do the lid, and then lighter grey inside the box. And now we need like a lighter sort of beige colour. So let's do a little test. Might be a bit too dark. Sand white might be better, which is E280. There we go. Let's try that.
That's right. Then.
That's a bit better.
Get to disappear briefly.
So
She's back now.
yay! I'm just putting a few dots of shading to suggest that my cream is not entirely flat. It's got chocolate sprinkles in it anyway, but we'll have in a minute. I'm going to put a little bit in there, and we can put a little bit just in here, so it looks like we actually have something in a bowl rather than it's just an empty bowl with a spoon. And we can use that same colour to do our pop-up. Like so. I'm going to give them dark ears as well. And we can use it as our highlight colour, our little reindeer. It's quite cute. Like so. Now we're going to need something slightly darker, so I'm probably going to go back to that yellow grey just to add a bit of shading in, like so. So we can make a bit of a form to his head so you can see the shape of it. So around the outside, because it's not a flat object. And we're just going to blend that in. And now we can do our shading colour. So on the back legs we're going to make it dark all over, and that's going to push them back like so. And then we can just do a little bit of shading on the front, under the head, and blend that back in. And do the tail. Now let's go a little bit darker, and let's go for let's see if that one will do. Rose beige. Ooh, it's a bit too warm, that one, for what I was thinking. Yes, you can mention that if you want to. Let's go sand.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, I'm sure Tracy can
Put the link up.
Put the link up, yeah. So I'm going with sand now to do the darker section. So his little ears, the patch on his eye, his little nose. Then if you want to do a little bit of extra shading under the head, just to make it that a little bit more 3D, you can. And
Should I tell people?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So Tracy has painstakingly, maybe, and very kindly set up a TikTok for Planner Craft. So if Tracy can put the link up for me, because I can't put the link up at the moment, that'd be cool. But there's some of our videos up there that have just gone up, and it looks like they're doing fairly well already. I didn't quite catch the view numbers on the videos that you put up that you sent to us, Tracy, but looks like they're starting to do well already. So if you do want to have a look and see some bits that we've done, Tracy will put up a link as where you can find us.
Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of shading into the bowl of the spoon, and then we can go back with our sand white over the top to blend that out. Like so. And like I said, keep trying to use the same colours somewhere else so that it becomes more consistent. So I'm just going to go with the dark colour, then back with the sand white.
Deb says she's following on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really
I should have to put it on my phone.
done loads and loads yet, have we, with it and played with it yet?
How many videos have we done, or have you managed to get put up so far, Tracy?
So these are like little gingerbread men feet. So I'm putting a little bit dark colour down the bottom, just to give them a bit of form.
We have more views already in one night than Tracy had on hers before it went viral. But we have 6 up so far.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do the hair next. So I'm going to go from the parting, and I'm just going to flick. So I'm going with the darkest colour first. And then I'm going to go to some sand white, which is going to soften that colour underneath anyway.
Deb says more crafters are getting on TikTok now too.
Cool. Right, something Tracy's been saying that we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah, she's been badgering us for weeks. Isn't she? Have we done it yet? Have we done it yet? No.
Bit like Panto later. You done it yet? No. Are you going to? Not if I can help it.
No, you're not annoying, Tracy. It's all good to drum up some extra awareness.
So I'm just doing little bits of shading to the antlers because I don't want it too dark.
That's alright, Carol. I don't really understand TikTok either, so.
Now at this point you need to decide if there are any other colours that you need to introduce. So things like stars, you're going to have to kind of do yellow. They look a bit odd if you don't, but it's picking the right yellow to make it tone in and not jar against what you've done. So you want something that's kind of soft and warm. So I think I'm going to go for buttercup yellow, which is more sort of towards the warmer end of the spectrum. So this is going to tone in quite nicely while still being yellow. Now we do have a nice green background, so it'd be good if we can kind of match that as much as possible. So let's try. our two darker greens.
Even Deb has 10 videos on TikTok.
What, crafty videos?
7 of the dogs, 3 Procreate reveals.
So now I'm going to come in, I'm going to use the green so that this tones in with our background. So this is a good one to use if you need to tidy up any lines that you went slightly out with. So particularly if you've got any detailed sections like round here by the top of his hat.
Yeah, I looked up then and thought you were doing the boy's hair, those couldn't.
Oh dearie, dearie, dearie. I'm just shading that to the bottom and a little bit to the side. So you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to blend it back in if you don't want to. So, a bit just, no. And then I'm going to use the darker green to do the holly. Now if you want to, after you've coloured it in, you can go back in with a gel pen to do some different finishes. Let's just fill these dots in over here. So the little swirly bits, it will probably cut around the outside off, but it's up to you whether you want to try and put those on, or you could just doodle some. And let's put a little bit of green on the bow down here.
The video that Tracy was telling you about.
Yeah.
Now 129,000.
Well.
129.9. So nearly 130,000 people.
See, that would just, yeah.
Just blows your mind, doesn't it?
I'll just go and hide in a corner. So I'm just going to do a little bit of dotting. That's going to make our little pom-pom look fluffy. So put your dots closer together toward the bottom and further apart up towards the top. And you can do the same here if you want to. And we just need a skin colour. Let's try the cream. Might be too yellow.
We're up to 4,700 in our group now. In the
Cool.
7 Cup group.
So I am going to go for a little bit of cream, but I'm only going to take it round the edges just because it is that little bit too overpowering. And then I have my blender and I'm going to go around the outside of that colour so it should blend it in a little bit. Just go back over the top. Maybe even a little bit of toning with that sand white again, just to blend it out. So when you use the blender, it's going to look like you've coloured in a lovely shade of grey. But the good news is that's going to lift out as it dries. So don't panic. And a little bit of cherry pink for the cheeks and on the nose. I'm just going to put a little bit under his eyebrows too. So cream again. Blendy, blendy, blendy. So you want to make sure with your colours blender that you're going over the top of your pen so that you can pick up that pigment. Back to the blush, under the eyes, over the eyes, and on the nose. Okay. Just spotted I missed a few of the stars just there. So back to that buttercup yellow. Now the Christmas treats, if you're feeling brave, you can do that with a marker, or if you're not feeling brave, you can go back and do that with a fine liner or a gel pen, particularly if you want to add some sparkle. So I think you need a little sparkle. So let's go for, do a little metallic for a change. Do you want to just pull out the cutting mat ready in? So we can. So there's our colouring. Now if you are using something other than alcohol markers, particularly if it's something that's going to stay wet, you may want to wait a bit before doing the next step. And this is not wanting to go back in the box. Come on, there you go. Let's move all of our markers out of the way. And then we can show you the next step. So how many of you have actually had a go at building the mechanism, and how did you get on? Yes, please.
Suddenly went super close. Sorry about that, folks.
Okay, so because we just want to do this end, I'm going to mount my piece so that it has an inch gap from the top, inch gap from the side. So that means if any of your images are a little close to the edge, you're not having to worry that you can't quite get off the edge.
You can put your photo shield down.
Yep, you could put your force shield around it.
This is now a follower as well.
Yay!
And Tracy's following back all these people that are following.
Cool. So it's time to wake up with a scan and cut for the morning.
Let me know you're ready for me to swatch the flat screen.
Okay.
Yeah, up to close cam.
Yep. So I'm going to load my mat.
Four followers now.
Cool. And we're going to go to scan, direct cut, use the machine. We're going to go black and white to start with to see what it does and doesn't pick up. And let's go start. Need to hold my scanner lever because I was doing... No, you wouldn't need to move it down to 2. Down to 1. Because we had it up yesterday, didn't we? Because we had a piece of card that was misbehaving. So if you find that you have a piece of card that won't stay stuck to the mat, if you move it up to scanner lever 2, you can find that that will solve your issue for you. Which is what we did. We're going to go OK. And we can see that it's pulled out a lot of our pieces. Not all, but a lot. And we're going to go and zoom right in using our arrow keys and right in this side. Now I'm just going to take it down just a little bit so it's not picking up the top of our card.
23 legs.
Yay! So we've got that one. It's going to miss out some of the smaller dots, but that can be solved by using your ignore object size if you want to. But I think I'm happy at that to just go for it, to be honest. So we're going to go preview. We can go OK. Now if you like to put an extra little white border on it, then we can do that using offset. And I'm just going to put 1 mil on it. So this can help you if you are finding that your images are cutting slightly off. By putting your offset on it, you're giving yourself a little bit of leeway, and you can always just trim off the excess. So we're going to go OK, OK, and then we can go for it. Now you may find that when you put your offset on, you've got a couple bits that cross over. With this one I'm not too bothered because I can just tidy that up. But if it's something else like that, then what you're better off doing, instead of using direct cut, change your mind now, go to scan to cut data, scan it as is, save it. Then you're going to put the offset on in the actual editing section, and then you can weld so that you're not ending up having bits crossing over. So I'm going to go to cut, pop my blade in. So I'm just using the standard auto blade, and we can go start. So what else did I need to say today? I'm back on it too, on the Memories Paper Art group, and we're going to be creating the first part of a little mini album. So if you want to come along and do that with me, then do that. Yeah, the challenge is still ongoing. To download the files, you need to go to our Discord group.
So what, tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep.
Tomorrow's the last day, isn't it? So
tomorrow's the last day, so you need to hurry up and... have you got a link for the Discord group? We will put up another invite, won't we, and stick it in the announcement section at the top of the main group. So if you aren't in Scan and Cut and Paper Craft classes, courses, workshops by Planner Craft, then please do join. You will be asked 3 questions and it will have a little tick box. Can you please do both those things for me, just to make it a little bit easier for me to kind of see that you are a genuine crafter. Otherwise you don't get that in the group. It depends on who's looking at it. I'm a bit more forgiving, aren't I? But you're strict.
Could you request
Memories Paper Art.
There is a link in the group, I believe.
Yep, there's a link in the group for you to join so that you're ready to watch Act 2.
Memories paper something I heard Emma was talking about.
Memories Paper Art. So it's all things in pretty paper basically. Mini albums and scrapbooking. And so if that's your thing, if you've got loads of pattern pads that you just don't know what to do with, that you just sit and stroke, then that's a good one to get involved with. I haven't decided myself yet which pad I'm going to work with today. I'll have a think about that one.
Right, Deb's got to go, but she'll see us at 2. Cool.
Cool, take care and we'll see you later.
Have to put a picture for the pooches.
Oh yeah, definitely. Gotta put up Badger and Rabbit.
And you showed the scrapbook.
Yeah. I think we've all got lots of paper. We had a bit of a giggle when Andy said that there was going to be a paper shortage.
Not in his house though.
Come on. That's not dirty.
So let's probably stop that.
Yeah. So, just because I'm going to quit cutting. Okay. There we go. So although it wants to go around a third time, there's actually no need. So let's unload the mat. And close up our tray. Now I'm going to rotate that round sideways just so I have enough room to work. So you've got two choices with your card. If you want to put your Christmas treats up the top, you can do. If you want to put it across the bottom here, you can also do that. So I'm going to grab my metal spatula. I'm also going to get a little bit of glue, and then we can start to assemble our pieces. So like I said, if there's anything you want to just trim up, you can do. Don't think that you have to stick with what the Scan and Cut did. So on mine it's slightly off, so I'm just going to give that a little trim, like so. And there's a couple little bits but just where it's on the offset on the other items. So I can just tidy that up. Like so. And I'm going to tidy it up underneath as well, just because this is our main kind of sentiment. And tidy up this end too.
You're going to put that so it matches the arch at the top of the box, or are you going on front?
I think it needs to go up there. That's certainly where I was thinking. Now if you've got something like this where you've got a thin bit of white showing and it just looks a bit wrong, get yourself a little bit of a black pen.
Yay! That's good, Carol.
I'm using my sketching pen. And I'm just going to go along the edge actually vet pen over here for that. Oh, use my brush pen. So this is a hoo-hoo marker from the fine liner set. So I can just use that just to tidy up. On that edge, and then when we put it on, it's going to look that little bit neater. So we can just go around that top edge until we're happy, and do a little bit on the bottom too.
She's had orders for her houses that she's been doing.
Cool.
Wanted houses.
Cool. Are you ready for your shadow box workshop at the weekend, Carol? Have you decided whether you're going Christmas or spooky? So I'm just going to pop that on there. So we're mimicking our art arch here. Then we can take our other little embellishments. Now these I'm not going to bother trimming so much. A little bit of glue. Drop on there. If you want to put them on the sides instead, you can do.
Now you can put them anywhere, can't you?
Yep. So tap one down. Next one over here.
As yet ready to go, we'll probably do a usual watching and then crafting.
Okay.
If anybody else would like to join Carol, there's you can get access to the Shadow Box Workshop on our new
Sum up.
little shop.
Just going to trim that one because it looks a bit weird. Put that one up here. Just so. Otherwise it looks like we're being a bit placed. Now here's those curls, so it's up to you if you want to place these or not. You can put these up above, coming out the top. Just going to attach a little bit of glue just there. And like so. Just press and hold for a moment.
It looks like you've put googly eyes on it. She's not watching this morning.
No, it's Wednesday, isn't it?
Wednesday morning, yeah.
She has a course that she's doing on a Wednesday morning, so she's not available.
I knew she was doing something, I couldn't remember what she was doing.
Okay, so there's our backdrop. So, I'm going to work from the back to the front. So I'm going to put my little elf peeking their head over the top to see what's going on. So you're going to want to put your glue on the bottom edge on the front, because we're going to stick it behind.
Carol's asked if it's only her in the group at the moment.
At the moment, yep. Yeah, it's all Carol on her own. Okay. I'm going to put my master baker over here, and let's see if we can decide where he's going to go. So I've cut out a little icing bag and the spoon so that these can actually slot into his hands. So that's something you want to bear in mind when you're trying to work out where you're going to put him. So maybe you want to put him on the front, which is going to give you a little bit more support for your elements, or if you want to put him in the middle. I think I'm going to go for the front just so I can like so. And when I was sizing my little puppy as to where I was going to put him, I made him a little bit smaller, so you can always go up somewhere on the back section here so he looks tiny, like so. And hopefully I'm just going to trim this bottom edge so it sits in his hand a little bit better. It's the only thing with offsets, sometimes they do get in the way. Just so I can get that. And what I thought was, when I was putting them together, if we actually did it so it was kind of coming from behind, so it looked like he was squeezing like so. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on his hand just there, and a little bit on the tail of the piping bag, and twist that into place like so. And just hold it there for a moment. Then let's get the spoon, and this one I wanted to go a bit more down like so. Now if you want to cut into it at this point to actually tuck it inside his hand, you can do, which is what I think I'm going to do. Now this can be a little bit tricky to try and get it so it looks right, so I'm just going to go down like that. So we've got a little piece that we can then slot in his hand like so. This is definitely going to be one of those where you're going to wish that you had tweezers. So just drop it there. I'm just going to give it a little nudge with my pencil. Just try and get it in the right place. Like so. Now I'm going to put my little reindeer just here, and he's going to be being naughty because he's eyeing up the hot chocolate. I'm just going to put that there. Like so. And again, a bit of glue on the back just to stick on our hot chocolate. So he's going to be going, oh, yeah, well, no one's looking, I'm going to sneak a little bit of that hot chocolate. We can finish off with any spaces that just need something to fill in with our baking tray. And our little pudding bowl, I think, can go just here.
See, this reindeer is running away from the baker, so yeah, there doesn't become reindeer pie, or the baker doesn't decorate anymore.
And the little elf knows I know what you're up to. And there we go. Ta-da! So I hope you've enjoyed that, and that gives you some ideas for how you can use your files a little differently and using the basic shapes on your machine to create this little 3D card. So tomorrow you have Ian who is going to be doing a little bit in canvas.
I think so. I don't know yet. Yeah, we'll see.
See what he's feeling brave enough to do. And then Friday I will be back doing mixed media.
I'm pretty gritty.
And with a Christmas theme. Just don't tell Louise. So I'll say bye bye for now, and if you come along too, I'll see you then. If not, I will see you Friday at 11, and you will have Ian tomorrow at 11. Take care. Bye.